I think they could have picked something nicer.
Yeah, it's as you say. When you have a Spectre, it makes less sense to have the Bane. He's a hero that can catch out a split pusher by himself. But when you have the global presence of Haunt and eventually an Astral Step, it's not as necessary to have that Bane there to get back and stop the split pushing by themselves. The Spectre can get on top of them immediately and then take a team fight on the other side of the map. So it's providing you something you don't necessarily need here, as you were saying, Moxxi. And I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about it. And Tidehunter, it's all right. I mean, on one hand, you put him to sleep at the start of a team fight, you're going to do awesome. He's not going to get his Ravage off, but Fiend's Grip isn't going to work on him. So I like him for that reason. And of course, God, the sleep just isn't going to do anything in these team fights. You want to take Tidehunter out with the Nightmare, but everything from the Phoenix and the Haunt is going to just wake the Tidehunter up. Infamous turn to... Okay.
That's a hero.
That's definitely a hero. I like that a lot better than the other things they have going on Spirits. I like the Spectre. I like the Doom. Everything, or the Bane and the Phoenix, they don't fit in as well with what they're playing against here. The Doom, of course, just being able to... Oh, no. That was a good pick right there. I'm going to say I'm liking Infamous's draft a lot more right now. The Doom is going to be able to deal with the Tidehunter pretty well. Just throwing the Doom on top of him is one of the few things that he can't dispel with his Kraken Shell. That and Duel, I've seen as the two big counters to him. You can take him down in those abilities. Anti-Mage picked up against the Doom is like a very nice lane, though. I talk a lot about the Orb of Venom, leveling Mana Break at level 1, and just clicking him down. If he has no mana, he can't exist in the lane. The one tool that he has under his belt is to be able to devour creeps and keep up with farm, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have mana, you're not going to be able to do that.
It's going to be difficult for Doom to do much of anything. He's just going to have to stand there and take it like a man for the most part. But do have, a couple more of those bands coming out. They take out the Invoker. They've taken out the Monkey King. The Invoker could have been another potential difficulty for them to have to deal with, just because KXY does play a great Invoker, but also, the ability to be able to go and throw out Alacrity on your anti-mage, or anyone, honestly, is just going to make Phoenix's life so much harder, and also just is really good. We talk about this all the time now. If we talk about how this patch feels sometimes, that it's just, buff your super hard carry, give them, the medallion, give them the Solar Crest, give them Alacrity, give them Bloodlust, and just watch them go. Because once they start going with that farming, when they're done and they come out, they are just a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a lot of sieging the high ground. It comes down to everybody sitting out way outside the tower range, and the hard carry being buffed and continuing to hit the tower, and everyone being ready to save him. Hanka taken out last here. Guess they're worried about just really strong early game. They have frontliner already in the form of Doom, but I guess getting fast and getting in front and fighting into the boat be difficult for Infamous. Not really something they want to deal with. It would be able to push out some of these early creep waves. We're probably going to see rotations around the 5 and 10 minute marks, along with the bounty runes and the catapults coming out from Infamous and the Nature's Prophet. They're just going to be playing fast Dota along while anti-mage farms, I think. We're going to see an impressive game out of Infamous here, Moxxi.
I'm surprised that we're not seeing... I mean, Faker could be playing the Nature's Prophet. There's a couple positions that they could put it in, obviously. It could just, move into Excel. But, they didn't ban... We haven't seen any of the Spirits banned. Does that seem weird to you? There's no Void Spirit ban. There was no Ember Spirit ban. Faker plays an incredible Ember.
There's a Storm ban at the end of... There you go. Moxxi with the predictions.
Why not? If they're going to let you have it, take it.
Yeah.
Don't just let it sit there on the shelf and be like, oh, is this a trap? No.
Oh. How do they trap you if they have one hero left? I just want to say, any of these SA teams, if you want to hire a drafter, contact me. I got Moxxi's email. I can get you in touch.
I watch a lot of South American Dota, and I've watched a lot of these players for a very long time, too. So it's always fun to see them, succeeding, especially this Infamous squad. This used to just be, besides Pepita, because Pepita has been on Infamous for a million years now, it feels like. But the squad was the Infamous Young squad. They were the scrappy kids who were making their way through the open qualifiers for the longest time. And all of a sudden, they just got the perfect, composition with each other. They play with each other really, really well. I've seen Faker playing forever. And all right, they go for a Legion Commander on the side of Spirits. Most likely a mid-Legion. if I had to guess.
That's a mid-doom.
No, it's a mid-doom. Okay.
I wasn't expecting that one either. That's fine. Benny on the Spectre. That is an odd-looking Spectre set.
I like that one. That looks like it looks like a Halo like Forerunner kind of set. You know Halo, Mr. John Arbiter.
Yes.
Neph and I both legendary gamers. You know, we play all the Halos. I get to be John Halo. He gets to be John Arbiter.
I've been known to kill Cubby scum in my time. Yes.
But I like that set personally. This is a weird draft coming out from Spirits. They have a lot of single target lockdown, but no AoE and really no mobility. I think that's going to come back to bite them in the butt because Excel, you know, he's got teleportation, you've got Leap coming out of Michael. Pakaz obviously has a blink built in. The Spirits just are so mobile, and Pepita's going to get a blink. You've got, you know, Icarus dive on the Phoenix. You've got blink eventually on the Legion Commander, maybe on the Doom 2. I don't know. They've got no ways to really chase, I guess, or run away. So.
You have some tools to chase in Spirits, but you know, for Infamous, I think it comes down to, you know, forcing the enemies to fight into you as you take their towers and whatnot. I think like they're gonna force Spirits to come out to respond to their aggression, and that's how the game's gonna be played for them. Nice trade, fake Neph. All right, whatever, man.
I like how Haynes' figure is just frozen. It's very stylish.
I like Cthulhu Tidehunter.
He's a little dad bod too there, right?
Yeah.
You know, COVID's been making everybody a little fluffy, so Tidehunter no exception. He's just been sitting around eating some you know,
it jiggles when you rotate.
And
if you rotate him. If you production guy, can we get a little rotate jiggle onto Tidehunter, please? Open him up and then yeah.
He is very much on his back right now. Look at him. Taking a nap.
You know what is adorable? Dipper. The Ursa bear that just sits on his back. Speaking of that.
Oh, is that what he's called?
Yeah, his name's Dipper.
That's adorable.
Yeah?
You remember when it was like, this is silly, like, there shouldn't be an Alpine Ursa set. Like, this looks ridiculous. And now there's just a little guy who sits on his back. How far we've come in Dota 2. What a world. We've got Faker over here slicing up some meat for some reason. I don't understand what that has to do with Ember Spirit's lore at all.
Before he became the Spirit of Fire, he was a dad who grilled meats on the barbecue.
I can imagine him with like a kiss the cook apron kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. He loved grilling so much that he became the Spirit of Fire. I like my version of the lore better. I should rewrite the lore for all these heroes.
You should start writing ridiculous lore and just at Sir Action Slacks the entire time.
I wonder when it'll block me.
Yeah, I probably will. And we have the cheese taunt over here on Bane. Apparently cheese gives you nightmares if you eat it.
Cheese, truly the nightmare of dairy byproducts. Would you agree, Slacks?
I mean, that's actually a true statement, though. There's something about cheese that apparently can invoke nightmares.
Maybe that's why he's doing this.
That's what, because I asked someone, I forget who it was. I was asking about. I was like, I don't understand this. Why does he have cheese? Why is he French? What's happening? And they responded that there's some sort of chemical component within cheese that can actually give you nightmares.
Did you fact check that?
I did actually, and it was true. Arrow gets landed over onto Benny. Jay's doing some good trades here. Just standing here beating down on Benny. Ajay's gonna have the brain sap up in a couple seconds. They really want this kill on this Bane. Michael doesn't have the arrow just yet. Benny with the body blocks. Pepita's pretty tanky here. Can Michael find this arrow? Benny's doing a great job of blocking. This is actually just so ridiculous. Oh, look, Michael, he thought about throwing the arrow. Pepita, they're just chonking him down. They need just a little bit more damage, and it looks like they're not gonna be able to do it.
Yep, they know that the cooldown on the brain sap is 14 seconds. He's got a mango in his backpack on Nuage, so they're worried about them just turning around and killing them there. Arrow doesn't connect, unfortunately. But yeah, that's why they had to turn. This goes to a lot of everybody regen, in fact. You know, Michael is going to be a little bit happier about this. Spectre, he's going to be sitting under the towers, so he's going to get an extra 1 regen a second. And, of course, I think Bane is going to bring out more regen for the Spectre.
I would assume
Yeah,
so.
in fact, he's got Tango's on him. Got to see a skirmish. What about all the people in the top lane, though?
I'll give them a drubbing.
It's like Hane's got a little tiny slight advantage, not by much though. It's just, you know, we're only about a minute in here.
Well, this is a favorable lane matchup with Legion Commander as it goes on, just because, you know, you could put up a couple points in a moment of courage and suddenly you're able to trade with the anti-mage under the creep wave. You want to go through all of your mana as quickly as possible, though. Again, he does physical damage for 50% of the mana burned. So he's just spamming out overwhelming odds, so you can't have extra damage onto him in this lane. This is a big brain play here by Hane.
This is the second time that we've seen him play this Legion Commander.
Yep.
Seems to have a pretty good handle on it. He got a decent amount of dual damage too the last time he played, but I believe the rest of his team just couldn't follow him up after it. And then the mid lane, the classic Doom versus Ember Spirit here. Faker doing exceptionally well, 11 and 4. It's also got a little bit more health going on than Mini.
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, Doom is going to be able to do all right here. He's got the pack leaders, or the lane's going to shove in. He's having more damage, means he can contest a lot of the CS, but he has low base attack time, and he's going to lose in a lot of these harass fights against this Flame Guard in KXY. So it's just, yeah, going to pop it regularly and walk into him. Nice deny there. You know, that's one of the benefits of having the pack leaders aura and the higher base damage on Doom, as I was saying. But I don't imagine there's going to be a whole lot of action, not a lot of kill potential in this lane. You know, it's just going to be Doom farming away.
Now you say that, but like, knowing Faker, I feel like there's gonna be a kill at some point, like a solo kill here. I could be wrong though.
Oh, you might
be the other way around actually. Faker going a little bit too far. Down he goes. Mini will collect himself a kill.
And, you know, that one was 100% because he had the critical strike there on Doom. You know, Faker, he didn't do the math for getting hit by like 200 damage there. And he got run down.
The fairy fire too
no
definitely
action.
helped out.
I'm not even sure that he did that though. Either way, you know, well played by Mini. Good start to this lane. Ember Spirit's not gonna be happy about that one. And you know, we've seen what happens to Embers when they can't come online. XY, in fact, especially.
Yeah. Put out a decent amount of harass over here on Mini. Oh, it's fairly quiet. Going up to the 4-minute mark soon. Sure, we'll see some sort of a rotation. A couple tower shots getting taken here by Faker. He's got to be careful. So he'll bottle up. Yeah, Michael.
Yeah,
trying to make his way over to that 4-minute rune spot. Not going to be able to as he gets nightmared. He'll steal himself a creep on his way through. And Ma grabs up the double damage.
Interesting how they didn't leave the one for Mini. Guess you can get a little bit of harass with that, you know. Actually, I have no idea why Mini didn't grab that, I'm going to be honest. That play didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I think he just didn't want to step away from the lane, but it was shoving under his tower, so he was open to grab it.
I mean, he's also got a level advantage here right now, too, so perhaps he didn't want to take the time to leave and let it kind of even out.
But, I don't know, the creep wave was just, you know, already shoved in there. It was under his tower. He wasn't doing anything. He just kind of walked back and forth there. Oh, okay, that's why. Fair enough, Maha.
The double damage rune, and then of course Michael finding a kill on Nuajes finally.
You know, clearly I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. These players, they seem to have things out of control. The double damage, or the anti-mage kill definitely wouldn't have happened if he didn't have the DB on the Phoenix, so, you know, well played there by Spirits.
Nice steal here from Michael. Pauses to think about throwing out an arrow, but while this is going on, Mini just chases down the Ember. Oh, had almost landed on him. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a courier. Guess they didn't want it. That was the Doom that got used by Mini, though, during all of that. So it makes sense, right? He's got his 6 faster. He's going to be able to Doom up the Ember Spirit, just get a quick kill. And now he'll just relax again.
Everyone was preoccupied with bounty runes at the time as well. You know, Mini seizing that opportunity to jump on them. You aren't really able to stop him from killing him with Nature's Prophet. That's one of the bad parts about playing Excel on this hero over here. And of course, Mirana, like I said, preoccupied with the bounty rune, threw out the arrow, but was already too late. So Faker doesn't have his sponsor right now is recovery. Just as is saying, he doesn't have much recovery.
He'll get there. We'll get there, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough though. You know, when you have like your stuns of playing around is like Tidehunter's Ravage, and the heroes you have to go on are like Legion Commander, Phoenix, Doom, Spectre. None of these are easy targets to bring down. Oh my god!
Yeah, Mini is just very aggressive. They even forked it up during that. And you've got Ma nearby.
He's doing so much work with these critical strikes. It crits 100% of the time. It feels like.
He's a god gamer right there, clearly, you know?
Yeah. And he crits exactly when he means to.
Rana leaping in, they'll be able to go hold Ma into place. This should be a dead Phoenix. He uses one of those remnants and he finds himself a nice kill thanks to the rotation.
And, you know, things just aren't getting any better right now. I mean, the kill on Phoenix is all right, but, you know, Doom, he's just going to continue to shove your tower in. And once you lose this mid-tier 1, did he crit again?
Fast! Oh my god. Forced to go, use the chains. Faker, not much mana left, does have his bottle, but Mini's just so aggressive. Like, they need to do something about him the way that he's just running between these towers at him.
Like, once they lose this... Yeah, look, Michael's doing an excellent job. Every time you're forced to get back right now on Faker, you know, Michael now taking them off. He needs to be here, though. If you lose this tier 1, suddenly he can start invading your jungle. He can run down Ember Spirit that much easier. It's pretty rough for them right now, Moxxi.
It is indeed. The later this goes, the better it goes for Infamous. Excel taking a decent amount of damage here from the Flame Spirits. They've got the Icarus dive. Hane, he wants to try to get a duel off, I have a feeling, but these Triads just keep blocking his path. Very well done here. Excel trying to buy a little bit more time. They're still trying to get in there for the duel. They finally managed to do it, and that's going to be the first duel damage pickup now for Hane.
Actually opted not to try and attack the Legion Commander while he was dueling him in order to stop him in his moment of courage procs off, but, you know, it wasn't enough. You die anyways. You give him the plus 10 damage. Oh, but you get the courier.
They almost got the other courier too. We'll spot out that there's a stack over here as well. You can see Pakazi wants it really bad, but he doesn't have that Battle Fury up and running just yet, so we'll back off.
Yeah, he was actually, I think he was just playing with Nuages there. He's going for the outplay even though there's no reason to. He was kind of dancing around, baiting at him, know he's there, trying to get him to use the spell so he can counterspell it. Trying to inflict that mental damage there. I saw what you doing, Picas.
That's pretty important, the mental game. Mini in the bottom lane, though, does have Doom. Just comes running out of the trees. Look how fast this boy is. They use the Ravage, though. So Pepita gets out. He's already used the Ravage. He's doomed up. Michael trying to body block, trying to get them away from Pepita. He's just ticking down, and Mini just running at this poor Tidehunter. DPs are coming out. They might need... No, they don't need to deny him. It's actually just not enough damage. Now Mirana is going to fall on the back lines, though, and Benny just goes back to farming. Faker making his own rotation. I feel like they should be playing around the fact that there's no Doom right now.
Yeah, there's no Doom, but there's also no Ravage. You have to keep in mind they don't have massive amounts of lockdown right now. The only person that's going to be making plays for them is KXY, but, you know, he's so far behind right now. He needs to recover. So if you don't have that Ravage to rely on, playing around the fact that there's no Doom is also kind of hard, right?
Still difficult, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, important to note, if you look at what Benny's going, Benny has opted not to go for the Blade Mail build. He's just going straight up into that Manta style.
Yeah. Got the deny there on the mid lane. You know, this is one of the things I was worried about. They managed to get a pre-10. That means with the next wave of catapults, they're probably going to shove out another lane with the Doom.
10 runes are up. Faker gonna be able to go snap up that rune. Pretty happy about that. This Doom is scary though. He's gonna have a BKB as his next item. Like, how do you deal with that?
All you can kind of do is walk away, but that's how Spirits wants to force you into these fights, right? They just go for the objectives on your team and say, okay, well, if you don't fight us, we're just going to end the game or try to end the game with each thing that we do.
Right.
But that's how they fight into them. So, like you said, there is no way to fight them. You run for now, but the question is, can you split push the lanes enough to deal with that? And even though you have Spectre, when you're playing against Spectre, I think it's too difficult.
Top lane. Looks like they're thinking about trying to make a play. They'll grab up Hane over here on the side. Moonlight Shadow won't get committed. Faker chasing down Hane, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to quite get that kill. But on the back lines, they do manage to take down the Bane.
He's not having such a good time. And we talked about how Bane isn't going to have a very big impact in this game, it feels like. Just given the fact that he's paired up with the Phoenix, you know. His Nightmares aren't going to do a whole lot under the effects of Supernova. That I was going to see a Legion Commander jump forward, but oh.
Yeah, Mini's got, every time he's got Doom, he just runs down to this bottom lane. And this time he was able to take down Pepita before the body blocks coming out from Michael were able to keep him alive long enough. So that way he didn't tick down, but he was all alone there. So Doom managed to get a kill on Benny's Courier though, nicely done by Excel. That's gonna slow down his, oh, and Moss Courier goes down too.
What killed that one?
I don't know, it just popped up over on the side.
I think Courier killed it. So, fun little fact. Sometimes I thought neutral killed it. Sometimes neutral creeps will attack Couriers if there's nothing nearby. When they get hit, they'll aggro onto whatever is around them. This has been a thing in the game for a couple of years.
That's annoying.
It's annoying and super weird. I don't really understand the code behind that one. So as you can see, it just says like nothing killed it. Normally it'll say the Dire or the Hero. It just says a little sword. I think a neutral killed it when the Nature's Prophet ultimate came out and there was nothing to attack nearby.
And remember when salves could get cancelled by like neutral creeps? Or just lane creeps?
Yep.
Man. Kids these days, they won't know the struggle.
Yeah. Supports like, oh, ooh, I need my 90 to 100 passive gold per minute. Summer child.
I was about to say, my sweet summer child. Benny needs to be careful here. He's going to walk directly into Pepita. Throw out a gush. Just throw out a taunt too, but no one else is really ready to kind of deal with the Spectre. You've got Excel just farming up over on the side. Pakaz sitting at second of the net worth right now. Getting very close to that Battle Fury. But not quite there yet.
It's a little bit slower.
Ooh, they go in for the Blink duel here. So they've got Ma with the Spirits plus the Haunt. And down he goes. But he's very happy with that. Goes right back over to the side. Do end up losing over here though. Mini. Oh, the arrow coming in from Michael. Nice save here coming up from Nuages. They have the Ravage though. They'll turn it back around. They'll get the kill over on Mini. And they'll get the kill on Nuages.
All of that, you know, I feel as if that came off the back of that kill onto Anti-Mage. Spectre probably should have just haunted and taken that right away, and the team should have gotten back, but finally able to take a favorable fight here, and that's super important to Faker. You know, his team's able to get a little bit ahead, and with that, him. I don't think they're going to be able to take a tower off of this, though. You know, tier 1 is sitting fairly high, but that evens things out a little bit more. We see about a 1,500, 2,000 net worth swing on that one, so... Infamous, it gives him a little bit more space for the anti-mage. Time for him to come online.
He's getting very close to it now because he does have the Battle Fury, so we're going to start seeing his farm just accelerate. And that's going to start being very scary for them because they don't have the greatest of lockdown.
No, exactly. The Ancient stack, you know, cleared up right away. Gives a little bit of gold from the Mirana as well. She's going to have her mechanism completed pretty quickly. You get like 40% of the... gold from the stack when you do it, so he's rich. He's laughing right now. Mechanism is being sent out, and this makes taking team fights that much easier. I think next time they have Ravage off a cooldown, like you were saying earlier, you know, we'll play around that one.
I will say that, oh gosh, Ma is disconnected from the game. My goodness. I will say that, you know, the saving grace right now for Spirits is the fact that Faker has not had the best game. He's been, you know, kind of struggling. He's a little bit behind here. Not by a whole heck of a lot, but he hasn't popped off the way that I think he would have liked to because Mini's just literally running him down every moment that he gets. Especially every time he has to Doom up. It's either running at Faker or he's been running at Pepita. And Hane, on the other hand, has been very, very active. He's been able to make a lot of pressure on the map. They were able to get a kill on Pakaz. So they do have that going for them, and it's going to be a while, I think, before we start to see Faker really start to get extra aggressive. Um, so they can keep making pressure on the map. They can try to force out this anti-mage, but the problem is they have a really difficult time catching him. A lot of it is really depending on the Legion commander to find him and get the duel off, because the cast animation for Doom is dreadful,
Yeah.
honestly. He's just going to be able to run away every single time, so...
It is way too hard to get that off, you know. Amber Spirit's most of his spells, well, all of his spells are instant, so. Anti-mage as well. I'm one thing that I'm kind of watching for is the Blade Mail Legion Commander. He actually did opt to go the Blink Dagger first, and Spectre didn't go Blade Mail first either, which is a little bit weird. You know, Spirits, I guess they're not really watching some of these other games, and they think that, all right, we're just going to stick with this older style of build. The Blade Mail really has been working when they grabbed that first, though, I feel.
No, I like it personally. The one thing I can understand though, when you take a look at the Spirits draft, is that they're lacking initiation if this Legion commander doesn't get a Blink Dagger, right? Because Mini can potentially, you know, get the Blink Dagger, be that initiator, but the problem that becomes with that is he's a core. Like, he's the first one in, and if he's the first one in and nobody else can follow him up, he's gonna take a beating. So
Yeah.
being able to have the Legion commander kind of pop in, get that initiation, follow up, you know, with the Phoenix, having the Icarus dive, and then possibly, you know, getting an egg off to the side, making the fights a little bit more chaotic, trying to figure out, you know, do we follow the Legion? Do we follow the egg? Which one's more important? I think that makes sense in this case to pick up the Blink first.
Another reason, would you say, like, it's better to have the BKB because you don't want to just blink in and then get blown up because you're the frontliner on Doom? I'm thinking that was one of the reasons behind that. I don't know what you think, though.
Yeah, I'll agree with that because, I mean, Doom has been doing very, very well this game, right? He's very big and tanky. He got a 6 online very quickly. He got 2 kills in the mid lane, 1 in the bottom. And they just can't really deal with him right now. So you know what? You've got that power spike and you've got a Spectre. So why not just, you know, embrace the fact that they can't kill you unless they use a lot of spells? Just buy yourself a BKB and then they just can't kill you, period. And this buys you even more time for the Spectre. It does get a little scary if it goes super, super late, because then you're going to be down to your 5-second BKB. But you've already done your job at that point, because this Doom, it's a mid-Doom. This is what he's supposed to be doing. He needs to be making space. He needs to be tempo. And he needs to, you know, make things happen.
Yeah. And I'd say he's agreed to. He's sending out the BKB right now. Then after that, he's going to grab the Shiva's Guard. This will make fighting into Spirits a little bit more difficult. You know, Anti-Mage is going to, you know, start to hit the critical mass, though. Right now, he's a little bit behind the Spectre, but I imagine that's very quickly going to change once he has the Yasha, given the fact that he has the Battle Fury now. He's been slowly catching back up. Like, he just passed the Spectre for net worth a little while ago, even though his CS was behind.
Michael. Oh, look at that leap immediately. Oh, but the Nightmare followed up here from Nuages, so she'll be able to go get themselves some more dual damage here for Hane. They've got plenty of damage. Oh my god, Minnie just slaps her across the teeth.
It's brutal.
A lot of damage, that's for sure. So a nice pick off. Again, it's a support, but you're pretty okay with that. And they didn't even need to use the Doom either. No Doom, no BKB needed. Just a nice pick off and some dual damage.
Well, Mirana is one of the targets you want to be jumping on with the duel because she has the mechanism, she has the Moonlight Shadow. Like, she's going to be the person saving a lot of these heroes, so.
True.
That makes sense to me. Finally managed to get this top tower. They shove it out with the catapult. You love to see it. Clean gameplay here by Infamous.
Do you see how fast that Mini just, not Mini, sorry, Faker zipped away? Like, he saw the Doom approach him and he's like, there's no way. No way he's there alone. Like, he knows. Somebody else has to be waiting nearby. And what, hello? That's not telegraphed or anything. Arrow tossed out. Oh, Nightmare though coming through. Misses just a little bit. I believe we're on, are we on Peru server for the first game? And then second is Brazil?
Yes. I believe so.
Okay.
And just double check. I can hit the status, you know, I can check that way. Yeah, you're right.
Okay. I wasn't sure if what the way it was set up yet.
But yeah, that's what Summit's been doing. You know, for these Peruvian and Brazilian teams when they're playing against each other, it's one on the Brazilian server, one on the Peruvian server, or otherwise, you know, if the teams are having more internet issues or they want more even match both games across, and they just agree to both games on US East. But generally, it's been played on Brazil and Peru.
Ooh, all right, this is pretty good here. Don't know if they necessarily need to do that, but Pakaz still alive. Moonlight Shadow came in hot and managed to keep him alive. Arrow coming through here. KXY. And Searching wants to probably get the kill on Noage. They do manage to get the kill on Pepita in the other lane, though. Noage sitting very, very low. They're on the hunt. They should be able to find him. Couple clicks down. They also have that sentry ward here as Benny is trying to kill Excel. Looks like Faker is gonna leave. Michael throws out the arrow. Is it gonna be enough? Did they manage to save him? No, they find him at the last second with that Legion Commander. But they don't manage to snag up that Mirana. Michael will be absolutely fine. Man, I can't believe that Moonlight Shadow saved Pakaz.
It's Moonlight Shadow, and there's a little bit of a mistake there by Benny, believe it or not. I'm not sure if you saw, but there was a melee Dire Creep sitting beside the anti-mage while he was on him with the Mantis style, right? He could have killed that melee creep in one hit, but he hit the Mantis style illusions and the Spectre all attacking the anti-mage while he was being Fiend's Grip. If he kills the creep, you know, suddenly he's getting the Desolate damage. All of that was prevented right there by not taking out that creep. Rookie mistake there, Benny. I'm sorry, my man.
Feels bad.
Yeah. It's hard to notice that thing in the heat of the moment, though. You know, it's like some 10,000 IQ stuff. Like, all right, I got to do the math. How am I going to bring this hero down? How can I maximize my damage? It was pretty close. So he might have thought that he wouldn't have even needed to do something like that.
I mean, like you said, it was very, very close. I thought for sure he was dead there. But
yeah.
He manages to survive.
Get yourself a little bit more damage from doing that next time, though. You know, when they're going over the replay, they'll notice that and like, oh, Benny, you rascal.
You rascal. Oh, Noages, he's just wrong place, wrong time. Immediately just taking the Nightmare off, sliding over, he's got the chains, and the Brain Sap not going to be enough to keep you alive. Not with an arrow coming in hot like that, so... Get a nice little pick off here as the pressure's on, and it looks like they want this mid tower. You have many nearby, and there's a Legion Commander. They're playing it a little safe here. Still have the Ravage online for the Tidehunter.
And you know, they on one hand they'd be happy to take a fight, but I think they want to grab this next item on Anti-Mage before they go forward. He's sitting on a lot of gold right now. I think he wants this Lincoln Sphere. Then he doesn't have to worry about the duel coming out or the Doom coming out.
Duel, Doom, Fiend's Grip, there's a lot of things that he would prefer not to have to deal with.
Yeah, but when you have so many of these things, like when you're behind every single hero, especially like the Bane, if you blanket on the enemies, you know, he's going to get the Nightmare off on you. He'll break the...
Plus the Haunt. I follow up with the Ravage, though. Trying to keep KXY alive, but he's just doing too much damage here with the Doom. He is going to fall. The rest of the team has run away. That BKB getting used on Mini during all of that.
Yeah.
They ping out. They can see AM over here. Oh, they really want him. Spell Shield gets thrown out. I'll just keep blinking away. Mini left behind, though, and he's very, very tanky. These two heroes can't do enough damage, and Benny coming in hot here with the stagger. Opting not to go after Excel, but could definitely kill him if he wanted to.
Yeah. He's not heading back to base. The fact that Anti-Mage bought this Lincoln's recipe instead of finishing the Mantis style before the Lincoln shows that he wants the split portion instead of farm right now as well. You know, he's afraid of the enemies, you know, sitting beside him by themselves and catching him out. Lincolns will make that a little bit easier for him. But it also telegraphs to spirits what he wants to do. You know, they can see the Lincoln Sphere in his backpack, that he's had the Yasha for such a long time. He's sitting on the ultimate orb. They think, okay, why doesn't he just complete this item? Well, he doesn't want to fight you. Finish that Mantis style when you want to fight.
Sunray coming out over here by the Roche Pit. Ma taking a decent amount of damage. They have the Blade Mail online for Hane now. Spenny being very, very aggressive. He's looking to see if he can grab someone here. Doesn't look like they'll be able to quite do it, though. Doom on cooldown for another 50-something seconds, so I'm a little surprised that they're opting to go in on this. Kaz just finishing up that Lincoln Sphere. I'll go right back to hitting those creeps.
Yeah, he'll probably try to shove out bottom here. He's spending a lot of time in the jungle, which I'm not crazy about. Like, yes, they have a lot of threats that can kill you here, but you need to be shoving out the lanes a little bit more than you're doing. Because on anti-mage, you know, ideally you want to be closing the game out at that 28 to 35 minute mark usually. You know, if he's not taking all the towers right now, then it's going to be a bit harder. In fact, you know, it's Excel who's shoving the lanes and split pushing right now. Anti-mage should be here alongside him, I feel. He could be doing so much more damage.
Do you see Hayne there? He almost manages to get the duel off over onto Faker. So close. They do have a lot of options for being able to split push, though, if they want to go full-on Rat Dota, right? They've got Excel, who's able to split push. You've got the, you've got the Ember Spirit, who's very hard to get a hold of, and then you've also got the Anti-Mage. But the thing is they have pretty good ways of picking off, though, too, right? They've got the Legion Commander, you've got the Bane who could hold them in place. This Roche is definitely going over to the side of Spirits. Nobody is here. No one is paying attention and wants to contest it. So Benny will get himself an Aegis. And he immediately TP bottom. Hayne, he wants a duel. But they've already left.
That was not great there by Excel. You know, he could have gotten ran up by the Legion Commander there, and he had the trance on the tower instead of the Legion Commander. A lot of people would have targeted Hayne there to disable the Blink Dagger as he was running at them. Living dangerously, panic, I see, maybe. For just a little bit of unhealable damage. You know, on one hand, it's good. You know, you can't heal that tier 2 back up. On the other hand, you're having a very close dance with death.
It is defense of the ancients, not defense of the self.
True, true.
Yes, yes. Ace picked up over here on Pepita.
I don't think he'll do anything with this, though.
Look at him, though. He's getting his cardio and he's jogging.
Trying to get rid of that dad bod we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, you know. Again, everyone's a little bit fluffier during COVID. Except for those people that... Oh, Shadow Blade completed here for Hayne. Immediate leap, though. They did drop a sentry ward. They're about to get a little bit more spoopy here for the side of Infamous. Hayne hiding in the trees. Excel here. Arrow tossed out. Hayne will reveal himself. Still have Excel over on the back lines. Doesn't look like Hayne's realized this, though.
But I don't know what the point of picking the anti-mage is if you're spending so much time in the jungle. Oh!
He finds Nuages.
The Lord. He knows it's there now, but they're not going to be able to get him, you know? Wait, maybe they can.
Remember that time Neph was like, yeah, they're not going to be able to get them? It does look like they're going to be able to go get the kill on Faker, though, as they went in, got the Doom off, and then used the Haunt. Benny just chasing him down. It's still going to be Minnie who gets the final hit, though. But that was 2 big ultis. That should, like, I would like to see Anti-Mage just push like crazy now, knowing that he doesn't have to worry about the Doom, he doesn't have to worry about the Haunt. Only thing he really has to kind of deal with is Hayne, but Hayne though.
Minnie's here, but, you know, I think you just jump on top of him and you burn his mana. Because I'm not crazy about the way he's been playing, you know, he hasn't been cutting waves, he hasn't been burning heroes' mana, he hasn't been pushing towers. It just feels so underwhelming on this anti-mage right now. You're not doing any of the things that you normally, you know, hate playing against the anti-mage for this game. Grabs the illusion. You know, that's something a lot of people do. You know, they just hop on, they hit the hero a couple times, or they drop the Manta style on them, and then they blink away afterwards. And, you know, suddenly it becomes that much harder for the enemy team to take a fight. Doom especially. You know, he's got no mana regen items. The only thing he has is the Drum of Endurance. So you burn his 1300 mana and walk away. His game slows down so much. He's forced to walk back to base. But he's not doing any of that. He's just spending so much time in the jungle.
Faker is going to find Benny over here. There is no Haunt available. Gets a good bash off, though. Where's the rest of his team? Oh, they're fighting Ma on the other side. Benny forced to just remnant away. Might be able to go around here. Pakaz showing up. Knows that Nuages is there. Knows that Benny's here somewhere. Spectral Dagger does get tossed out. Minnie's joining into the fight. Nuages hiding in the tree line. Looks like he's going to just try to go hit him with that Infernal Blade. The jump forward with the Ravage. And this, oh, look at the cleave. Look at the damage now. Benny and Minnie both taken down in a beautiful execution here. Aegis coming back up again. They do manage to go and find the Bane on the back line. See a couple of these Flame Spirits thrown out, trying to protect him, but they're not going to be able to. And then again over here, Pakaz looking for an opening. They took down Benny once. I'm not sure they have enough to take him down a second time right now, but that's interesting. They're just back.
Yeah. It's the theme of the game because he's looking like he wants to shove this tier 2 in the top lane. It's a little bit safer. If he goes in the jungle again, I'm going to lose it.
That arrow just landed over on Benny. Oh man, Hane is here though. They've got a Yules. So they'll walk away from him. Yeah, he's pushing the top lane at least.
Yeah.
It just seems so strange to me that you win a great team fight and then you just go off and farm again. This is looking like my pubs, Neph.
Yeah, I mean, they do have their cooldowns ready. They have to worry about Spectre ultimate. They have to worry about duel a lot still. But, you know, with Doom still down, I feel as if that's your time to just go. Things are about to get very difficult as the heroes on the side of Spirits hit a lot of their timers. They're about to have Astral Step completed, or sorry, Shadow Step completed on Spectre, you know, the Aghanim Scepter. And you don't see pick up that often, but you see a lot of the time as like a... Sorry, what is it called? Aghanim's Blessing on picked up from Roshan. Aghanim Scepter is almost done on Doom as well, so that's going to provide break and a 1.75 second stun every time you hit someone with Infernal Blade, which actually does a lot of damage and is pretty big disable on a low cooldown.
Oh, they don't know. Okay, yeah, Hane going in for the fight. They've got the Haunt. Got the counter spell out, and look at it. Just the anti-mage just dips. It's like, all right, I can't save you. I'm out. Better you than me.
Common theme of this guy this game.
Yeah.
Was that the Shadow Step? Yeah, that was the Shadow Step.
That was the
Haunt.
Shadow Step. They
Yeah,
finished the axe.
Yeah. I kind of like it.
Sorry, they sound exactly the same when they happen.
Yeah. There's absolutely no way. That's one thing that's very good about Dota is the audio cues. In fact, casting the game becomes so much easier because of that. In fact,
It really
you know,
does.
playing the game as well. Shout out to Valve, amazing audio cues. You know, my glance value though, you guys could work on that one a little bit.
But yeah, during team fights, the audio cues are just so good. Look, they drop down a sentry ward. They know that Legion's just been sitting down here the entire time. They jump forward over onto Nuages and they get that kill very easily. Kaz still looking, finds himself, hey, no mana left on him, but they don't have the detection, so he's gonna be able to walk away. Lincoln's being placed on Pakaz. Have to be careful. We'll just smash up Mini over here on the side. They follow up. Do they have the arrow to slow him down? No, Mog on the back lines does get taken down. Moxxi Neph, but they do have the Yule, so Michael's going to be able to walk away.
He's just buying time
He
here.
again, turn back around. The BKB comes out. Also the Haunt as well. They follow up with the Ravage, but the BKBs are up and running. It doesn't really matter so much. Follow up with another arrow. The rest of Infamous now forced away. They've already burned their really big ultimates here. Faker dodging a little bit back and forth. Hoping maybe they can find someone. Hane jumping forward again. They take down the trees. Really seem like they want to commit on this. They've already used the Ravage though. Slide forward coming out. We'll be able to hold Mini down. Still has that Doom available. Arrow comes through. I hear the Doom on the back line over into Faker, but they'll be able to go and take down Nuages. Glimmer Cape buys Faker a little bit more time, and then jump forward again from Pakaz as he goes and he just beats him down. 2 kills here for Pakaz as they take down the tower. And I think Faker's actually going to be just fine. Right into the base they go. They don't have the Doom, they don't have the Phoenix, and they don't have... Pakaz getting a little bit cheeky here. Jumps right after Benny into the base. Creeps have arrived. They go forward for the duel. And it doesn't look like... I don't know. They might not actually be able to get this. Hane is taking too much damage, and yes, they managed to get the kill. Followed up with the Meme Hammer over on the side. Benny has no mana, very little health. Can they keep him alive? It looks like they get the kill on Pepito, but they get the kill on Benny as well. They might need to force out some buybacks here, as Pakaz is not ready to leave. Wants another kill. Turns back around. He's trying to man-fight Hane here. Doesn't quite have that damage or the health to do it. Excel now gonna try to TP away. Looks like he's just fine, and it looks like KXY. He goes back in again. He's considering it. But I don't know if Pakaz really wants to do this just yet. He's not healing up as fast as he'd like, so he's gonna back off, hit some creeps, and maybe turn his attention over here where they have a Cardi and a couple of these ranged creeps.
Right now, this is a little bit of a lack of sustain on the anti-mage, so we can't go back and take another fight. The Blade Mail was ready by Hane as well, so if he popped that immediately, would have been able to take him down. But that fight felt super good there for Infamous. You know, up 16k net worth. All of a sudden, they're winning super hard. It feels like we have damage problems. We're not able to lock down the anti-mage right now. You have some of these tools, like you have Duel. You have Shadow Step. You have the Aghanim Scepter. You have Haunt. You have Doom. But it feels like the Spectre might have been better off, grabbing an Abyssal Blade rather than this Aghanim Scepter to get on top of the AM, because there's no setup for the Doom with the duel. He's always able to block things with his Lincolns or his Counterspell.
Well, I think part of it too becomes the fact that, okay, you use that Shadow Step is really, really nice because you get the Doom off and then you follow up with that without having to use your Haunt. But the Doom is such a huge part of your play. So yeah, you get that little pick off, but after that, if you don't take an objective or anything, if you're not set up in the right way, they're just going to punish you for it.
Yeah, and there's one rough thing here with the lack of objectives being taken right now on Infamous is, yes, you are super strong on anti-mage right now. I talked about how much he's super strong at like a 28 or to 35 minute timing, but you're about to miss that window. I think if you aren't able to win this next team fight with your Scotty on anti-mage, then the game becomes so much more difficult for you. And you are eventually going to win this in the ultra late game with the Spectre, with Legion Commander, with the Phoenix. These heroes are all insane and scale super well to late game. Mirana, not as much. I think, with Faker, he hasn't been online a big way this game either.
I haven't seen much of him. Arrow coming out is going to land Nuagas. No, but he's able to dance back around. Has the Nightmare. Michael will just take that off easily. Even Excel teleporting up to this top lane. So it looks like they're going to try to put a little bit of pressure. Or, you know what? Guess what's up? Roche. You got a Scotty completed. You get yourself some Aegis. Get that immortality here, Infamous. Do need to be careful, though, because they're making their way over. Mini holding in place here because Faker's able to go, pops that Lincoln's, gets the Doom off, and they'll follow up with the Moonlight Shadow. They need to have detection. They don't have it just yet. There it is. There's the dust. They'll use the Guardian Greaves, but it's not enough to keep the Ember Spirit alive. But he managed to make enough space here for Pakaz to go and pick up that Aegis, so they're going to be able to take down Ma, and now they're looking for anyone else that they might be able to catch. And look at this. They know that there's no Doom over here on Mini. Forced to go and pop that BKB. Excel joining up. He grabbed up the double damage. They'll get a couple bashes off over here. Turn around, Infernal Blade hitting over on the side, but it's not enough. Mini, he's going to go down. He's down for 84 seconds.
His buyback is on cooldown. He is 214 gold away. The one play that they can make right now is grab those bounty runes at the top lane for when he responds. Kaz is up here now. They're going to have to go on a stealth mission. Bane, you have to smoke out of the base and grab yourself some runes.
Bane's like, I want to do that.
Yeah, it's a dangerous mission if you accept it. It looks like
it's a suicide mission, to be quite honest, especially when you consider there's a Nature's Prophet that's going to be also going for those runes.
Yeah.
And the sheep sticks completed.
I think that's it then. Doom isn't going to come back up, and with Fortifying on cooldown for another 46 seconds, they could just lose a tier 3 tower or Rax. But they're backing up. I think they don't know that he doesn't have buyback. He has been sitting on the same items for a little while now.
Maybe they're just trying to shove in every single lane. I'm going to be very upset if Pakaz goes back into the jungle, though. Pakaz. Alright, I'm upset.
He wants the moonshot, I guess.
This feels like the old alliance. You remember when they would get this advantage and then they just wouldn't push?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're going for it now.
They're finally going for it, but that's so much time wasted. Doom's back up.
Yeah.
Doesn't have Doom for another 30-something, but they could have... Yeah, Sag.
We are 7 slotted now on anti-mage. He's grabbed the moonshot.
They're just going to be able to go and blow up this Legion Commander, though. Forces out the BKB. Jace gets taken down by Excel while all this is going on because he's in the top lane. They're just totally split up completely here. The Lincolns, though, does get popped. Kaz taking a lot of damage here. They'll follow up with a good Ravage, though, coming out from Pepita. Nice arrow's going to come in here from Michael as well. And that Aeon disc coming in handy. The buyback comes out now as they go in for the duel over onto Pakaz. Do they have enough damage? They've got just enough to take down the Aegis, but he's going to come back up again. The egg popping from Ma, plus the fact that the Bane manages to get the Fiend's Grip off. Pakaz, he needs help. He needs his team. They don't have it. He's not going to be... No, he's able to go. He blinks out. Gotta be careful, though. They'll turn back around, trying to save Pepita, but they're not going to be able to do it as the Lincolns gets placed over here onto Pakaz. He's already left. KXY is going to fall for him. 85 seconds down now. No buyback. Pepita vying back to get in. Pakaz going back in on Mini, though. He wants his kill. He just managed to find it. So they take down the Doom again. with Pepita here, maybe they can continue. And while this is going on, Excel just doing Nature's Prophet ratting in this top lane. They jump back in onto the back lines. Picasso has to be a little bit careful. Arrow's not going to connect over onto Hane. Excel joining back in again. He'll go use the Meteor Hammer over here on the racks. This game is weird.
This game is very weird. You still are at like the timing where Anti-Mage is stronger than any other hero. He came into your base 7 slot. It was very hard to bring him down twice. He's got the cheese in his backpack now. Buybacks are currently on cooldown. I'm not sure if there's anything they're going to be able to do to stop him from giving this last set of racks here. You know, you didn't play aggressive enough, but at the same time, you know, it went unpunished.
Oh, well, there we go. They call GG. He jumps right over onto Hane. I don't know.
I feel the exact same way, Moxxi. You know, Infamous, there's a couple times that he spent too much time in the jungle, them not pushing forward when Doom was dead. The lack of aggression out of them are just like them playing a little bit too careful. You know, I can understand the nerves against, you know, maybe a team like Quincy Crew. You're not really sure if you're able to take a fight. You want to get every advantage you can, but you know, that's exactly how LGD lost TIA. You know, they had these advantages and they made a couple of misplays, and then OG managed to take the games back. But here, you know, Infamous, they did manage to win despite, you know, losing kind of hard of the mid lane. But Anti-Mage spending a little bit more time in the jungle than I was comfortable with, and I felt like they could close the game out a couple minutes earlier. It was very scary to let that go ultra late, though.
I think the word of the day so far for Infamous is despite. Because they're, you know, Spirits was looking fairly good. You know, Mini had so much momentum going here with this Doom. He was just running at them. He was doing so much damage and they couldn't deal with him. But then, you know, things started to shift a little bit. We started seeing, you know, Picasso is a godlike farmer. You know, he's very, very good at it. But it started, like I said, it started to feel like the old, like, when what was it? The boys, Insania, Moxxi, all of them were back on Alliance, like before they became Liquid. It felt like those types of games where, you know, they start to win, but they weren't pressing their advantage. All of a sudden, you know, Picasso's back farming. He won't push. He won't join the rest of his team. He's not farming out lanes. He's farming out the jungle. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, you know, this is how they're going to lose. Mm-hmm. They should win this, but this is how they're going to lose, especially because, you know, the Spectre was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Spectre 6, 1, and 7, you know, was farming very, very well. But again, a little bit of an itemization issue, I think, too, with picking up the Ags. I think maybe that should have been a bit different. I understand what they wanted to do with it, but yeah, you know, Infamous managed to take the game, but it just was a little bit questionable at a couple points that they might have been able to do this faster and tidier.
Hmm. Yeah, I'd 100% agree with that. My issues with this game, like I said, you know, because it felt like he'd have been shoving out the lanes. You want to use anti-mage that way. You know, he was playing around his items quite well, but I feel like he could have played a slightly different style of Dota, and it would have been a little bit better. But you know, Infamous, very much needed victory. Everyone was probably wondering what was up after they lost to No Pangolier yesterday. Again, one of the top teams in the SA region, which you know, is to say it was a complete upset. No Pangolier played an amazing series, but you know, this game, Infamous plays better, so they take the first game of the day.
First game of the day. And it is a best of 2 series, guys. So we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to have game number 2 between Spirits and Infamous Gaming. So stick around.